I lost my video there. Where is it? Where have you gone?
Hangout is live.
What did you say?
I can tell Greg got his video back.
Oh. Try. Can you talk, Greg? Last week you were quiet. Apparently I didn't like you.
It's none of your business whether I'm loud or quiet.
Uh-oh. Can't drop the Periscope camera. All right. You're good. You're loud.
Loud enough?
Yeah, I'm recording on both devices, and we're live Periscoping the Bandwidth Boys podcast.
Well, that's groovy.
So
you just point at me, and I go.
We're all teched up. In the news story, I don't know if you saw it. You got to pause for a quick stinger.
I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I might remember that. That'll be
whatever. Or you can just read pause for stinger.
I could just blow right through it or read pause for stinger, right?
Pause for sting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Coming up on the podcast, we're drinking. Well, okay, not all of us. We're talking Google, robots, and automatic blinds. We're also talking NCAA March Madness. Stick around. An all-new podcast starts right now.
Bandwidth Boys Podcast.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
We talk about stuff, tech stuff.
And welcome to another episode of Bandwidth Boys Podcast. I'm Greg.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Connolly. The reason for the YouTube song is this is my favorite time of year, minus Christmas, but spring when the sun is up. In the morning it's a nice 35, warms up to 60, and at night it drops.
Wait. This
What?
doesn't have. This is. We're not jumping into the birthday celebration thing already, are we?
Not the birthday celebration yet, but
Oh, so we're celebrating the day in the same way that we might celebrate our birthday celebration, so we get to do it twice.
that is correct.
That's great.
That is correct. I just love the sun.
I am
After
with
a long
you.
Winter, it's great to see it, to say hello, beautiful blue skies. Unfortunately, if you're in a place where there's not a lot of blue sky happening, I apologize, but Eastern Washington around this time is just the perfect place to live and visit.
And today was just that day.
All right, let's get into it, shall we?
Right, what's going on, Tech World?
What's going on in tech world?
A dramatic price drop. Am I too loud? For
No,
you?
you're fine. Keep
A
going.
dramatic price drop from Google for its photo plugins. How much did it drop? Well, it went from $149 to $0. That's right, it's free. Google announced this week that they're making their Nick Collection software plugins available to whoever wants to download them. Google bought Nick last year for its photo editing app Snapseed. Obviously, Google has no interest in updating the collection from here on out, but hey, free is free.
NCAA March Madness comes to a head this weekend with the Final Four. The NCAA has announced that this weekend's Final Four games will be live streamed. Wait for it, in virtual reality.
Virtual reality, baby. Here we go.
Fans who own the Samsung gear, fans other than Connolly who didn't buy his S7 early enough,
I got to
will be able.
6 weeks to get it. Crazy.
All right. Well, those who did get them early enough will be able to download the NCAA March Madness app and watch the game courtside. Outstanding. But let's not get too nutty yet. The VR term is used a little bit liberally here. The game won't be streamed, but in 180-degree window, not the full 360. Which I think is fine, because if you turn around the 360, you're just looking at other people watching the game, so who cares? You only need the 180 anyhow. I think it's a good deal.
Google wants to make your home phone relevant again, Matt. Months of rumors have finally been confirmed that Google will be rolling out a service for home phone users called Fiber Phone. Fiber's product manager, Shiver Blake, wrote in a blog, while mobile phones have pushed us toward a future, home phone service is still important to many families. Landlines can be familiar, reliable, and provide high-quality service, but the technology doesn't always have to keep up. Fiber Phone, close quote. Fiber Phone uses a lot of the same technology as Google Voice. The service will cost about $10 a month. In order to make Fiber Phone work, you'll need a Fiber Phone box. The service will roll out in phases.
This story is for me, and
That's
I'm
you.
very excited because I finally have some content to watch. Sony says they are getting set to launch a 4K UHD streaming service April 4th. Early adopters to 4K TVs have struggled with finding beautiful content for their TV screens. That's me as well. I have already gone through all there is to watch in the last 2 days.
That's it.
When the service launches, Sony says they will offer films for purchase and playback in 4K Ultra HD, ranging from Concussion, The Night Before, and The Walk to older hits, including Ghostbusters and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The cost for an average movie, though, will be a little pricey at first, about $30 a download. For movie owners who use Sony Pictures stores to buy their movies, they'll be able to upgrade their HD version to UHD for a slightly reduced price. April 4th can't come soon enough for me.
And finally, the biggest story of the week. My personal favorite social media app has gotten a huge upgrade. That's right, you guessed it, Snapchat. Tuesday, the company announced they're making it easier for users to chat with each other. They're doing away with the pesky disappearing video and photo services that they say that will give people more ways to talk and respond to each other within the same conversation. And of course, we can't forget to mention the stickers. They have added about 100 new stickers, including a sleeping puppy, dancing mice, and a walrus drinking coffee. What's not to love about all of that? It's like the showcase showdown, and I've won.
And that's a wrap on what's going on, Tech World. I figured you'd love that story about Snapchat. I mean, what's not to love about your favorite social media app, Greg?
I hope that I didn't come across as too callous.
There was no sarcasm in that at all.
He didn't.
It
Okay.
sounded like you were fully invested in the story. I was very proud the way you read that story.
All right. I felt like I wanted to give it a little something extra today.
I want to know though, what's your first sticker that you're going to use now that they rolled out the 100 new stickers?
Well, I could only go with the three examples that you put here because I wouldn't have any idea what any of the other ones were.
You're going to go with the walrus drinking coffee one.
I suppose, yeah, that would be good. Dancing mice, maybe.
All right. A big week in tech. There you go. All the tech news for you at the top of the show. The Bandwidth Boys podcast, streaming live on YouTube and on Periscope. You can follow us at @GMK Podcast to see the Periscope live. We're going to toss it to Matt, who's going to lead us in our big talk discussion, robots taking over the world.
So I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know nearly as much about robots as I probably should have.
But I was really counting on you, Matt. I don't either.
It's going to be a really short big talk this week.
I, for one, though, am super pumped for robots to get into my house. Well, not like break into my house, but get to a point where they're in.
How else are they going to get in your house?
I'm going to let them in my house because I'm going to buy them.
You're going to open the door and you're going to say, "Come on in."
I'm going to buy the box. I'm going to bring it home with some assembly required, and then I'm going to have a robot.
All right. What robot, in the ultimate dream of robots, what's your first robot? What's your robot going to do?
I think the first robotic thing that we can all agree on that we're probably going to own first is going to be a self-driving car. Which I don't know if you would consider a robot, but I consider it a robot.
I don't consider it a robot.
You don't consider a self-driving car a robot?
I don't.
Greg, is a self-driving car a robot?
I'm leaning robot.
You're leaning robot.
Why would it not be a robot?
I don't know. I just don't think of a.
Well, I think the only reason that it's not a robot is that it started out being a car, and we just don't want to let go of that.
But it's controlled by a robot.
No, I agree with you. I just think it's going to be hard for us collectively to call it one. We're really going to be all alone throwing rocks with that one. But whatever.
Automatic vacuum cleaners.
They have those.
I know.
They suck.
Why do they suck?
That's funny.
One, they're tiny and can't pick up anything. Two, they look like idiots going round and round in a circle in your living room, bouncing off of couches and not cleaning up anything. And three, they just look stupid.
but they.
And they don't serve a good purpose at all.
What do you mean they don't serve a good
My
purpose?
cousin had one. She hated it. She went back to the upright vacuum doing it herself. Just saying, it's not a good concept right now. Maybe in a few years it will be, but right now it just isn't working. It's inefficient. It's like getting a robotic lawnmower.
No.
They have those.
I think an
Yes, they do.
automatic vacuum cleaner.
Greg's face is priceless.
I think it's just not for you, because I think for people who I don't like a Roomba, right? A Roomba isn't designed right for big messes, but it's designed to go around, every few days and just keep the dust level down and just keep your carpets looking good, right? So if you have a huge spill, you're still going to need a different vacuum, right? That's not what this is for, but this is a nice thing you don't have to think about.
No,
That just keeps your house looking cleaner.
it doesn't. It's a waste of money, waste of time. Don't buy it. What's next, Matt? I'm going to keep knocking down robot by robot.
A general house cleaning robot.
I can dig that one.
What
I
was the
could dig-
Jetsons robot's name?
Jane, no, that's the wife.
That's the one, yeah.
Rosie.
Rosie is exactly
Yeah.
right.
I could totally do a self-cleaning robot, and I think my wife would quite enjoy it with our 4 boys.
So we need something upright with arms and legs and stuff,
Yeah.
or at least something that operates
Right.
sort of kind of like that.
I see robotics before they come in your house being very commercial, and I think we're already heading that way. But I think most places that there's a customer service person, there's no reason it can't be a robot.
I mean, I'm all for you having robots taking over the world, but to be honest, I enjoy going to the supermarket and having someone check out and having someone talk to me.
Really?
I enjoy that person-to-person interaction.
As long as you don't have to bag it yourself, you're
As long as
good
I don't
to
have
go.
bag it myself, because I get heart palpitations when the crowd builds behind me and I have a family of 6 who has all these groceries I have to bag. But if someone else is bagging for me and checking out for me, I enjoy that human interaction. And I don't think robots will ever be able to replace that human-to-human interaction that I
Well,
get.
you can try it out at most stores because I don't think it's too far of a stretch to just call the self-checkout a robot. It talks to you, it runs the numbers, and it charges you money.
And I
It says
hate
to
it.
buy.
I hate it.
And it reminds you to check on the bottom of your cart for any items you might have forgotten.
Right.
Mhm.
Whoopsie. Oh, that giant toilet thing at the bottom. Yeah, I forgot to scan that.
But you can see how some people, a lot of people, that's just totally groovy. They don't really need the social interaction part of the show.
Like me.
But a lot of other people are always going to want the social interaction, I think.
Right. Where do you lie in that, Greg? Do you think robots, are that replacement to get you in and out of the store faster, and you don't need that social interaction, or do you like those people who, provide customer service in general, right? You're replacing the customer service field with robots to make it more efficient and cheaper for corporations.
Yeah, I like people. But I'm totally interested in the development of robots. It's just I mean, I could deal with the grocery store if it was robots. It just doesn't make any sense to me. People want to get up and go do jobs.
Right. So if you had $5,000 for your first robot,
5,000?
both of you, 5,000. That was coming from somewhere, some grant, $5,000 to go out and get your first robot, whatever, for $5,000. What would you use that $5,000 for?
I thought we were buying a robot with it.
No, I know, but what
What would the
kind-
robot do?
What would the robot do?
Okay. I'm going back to the most help cleaning that it can do, whatever robot this is. Because that, as Matt pointed out, it's true for me. That is the first thing that I would find of interest for a robot.
Matt?
My first one would be, if we haven't quite reached the point of fully automatic cars, a robot that can drive my car and drive any car I put it in, so that I don't have to buy a smart car or a
You
smart
can make
driver.
any car smart.
Yeah. If that's not an option, I'd buy a cooking robot
A cooking robot?
that can cook me meals. and
Oh,
have-
sure.
like a crock pot on steroids.
Okay.
How about you?
All right.
What do you got?
I don't know. I think robots are creepy. I'm not in the market to buy a robot.
We finally had a breakthrough here tonight. We now know what the problem
This
is.
is one technology that I don't think I'd jump on. I don't consider a car a robot, so that doesn't count. I don't want a robot in my house.
You're okay with the checkout
Okay with the
person?
checkout? Right. My wife probably would want a cleaning one, but I just think it's creepy, and I'm not at the point of having a robot in my house being able to watch me anytime, anywhere, and not knowing where that data is being darted off to.
Okay. It's like having a clown come over and just
Exactly.
sit there and watch
Sit
TV.
there. 'Cause I can imagine me getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, this robot at the top of the stairs with these blue lights that are on looking at you. It's very creepy.
Yeah.
So I'm on the robot business. I'll let you and Matt take it on and then
Okay.
maybe I'll jump on.
There was a study that they did about human trust in robots, and I think the conclusion was that humans trust them a little bit too much. Because I think the situation was they had a robot that was giving like a group of people a tour of a building, and they would have the robot make mistakes and take people to the wrong rooms, and it was obvious that the robot made a mistake. And then the people would pull the fire alarm, and the robot would switch into emergency mode and try and direct people out of the building, and it would obviously direct them away from an exit. And everyone followed the robot and didn't go out the exit and followed what the robot said. And I think the conclusion was that if robots were to become mainstream, they would have to essentially be perfect. Otherwise,
We'd be stupid.
yeah, people would be.
I mean, we just look at GPSs, right? You just follow that GPS no matter where it tells you. It says turn left, you turn left. It tells you to turn right onto this gravel road. You're like, well, that's weird. Okay, turning around the gravel road, right?
Yeah.
GPSs aren't perfect, but we're going to follow the damn Google voice or Siri's voice or Apple Map voice, wherever it leads us.
I don't think very many people are actually that stupid, though.
I beg to differ. I worked in news for 3 years, and I can tell you I've done a fair number of news stories that people turn right into a boat loading dock. It's dark. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. They're following Google. They're in a random place. They turn right. Boom. They're in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think
I've done those stories.
I think that's a small population of people. The only thing about robots I'm not too keen on is the whole like learning part.
The AI sort of portion of the show.
Repetitiveness of a robot, but the whole learning from me and
Trying to be predictive.
changing.
Yeah.
That part kind of worries me.
Just saying. One day you're going to wake up and the robot's standing over you with a knife
I don't think that's going to happen.
saying,
but-
I'm ready to make some steak.
What's on Matt's mind?
But go ahead. Take on the robot. You can have whatever, your cooking robot.
I'd love a cooking
I'm
robot.
just not going to be part of that. What's on your mind this week, man?
Just send a text, say, hey, this is what I want for dinner. Goes to the store and gets it. Okay. Can anyone predict what's on my mind this week?
I'm going to guess security or encryption. Greg?
I'm guess 4K.
We're both wrong, I guess.
Kind of close. This is probably the last time I'm going to talk about this Apple FBI case.
Oh.
But I just want to say that I called it.
You have to give me warning that you're going to talk about that so we can play the theme song.
That's
My
okay.
goodness.
I really thought that you would have seen this coming. I just want to say I called it, that it is possible without Apple's help, and that that was just their way of trying to be a bully.
What are you talking about?
Oh, for those of you who don't read the news or don't go online, which I don't know why you would ever listen to this. Anyway, an outside company in the whole FBI Department of Justice Apple fiasco became a fiasco for the Department of Justice. An outside company, we think Israeli, basically stepped in and said, "Hey, FBI, we can unlock this phone for you. You don't need Apple," and they were successful.
All right.
So
Is that good or is that bad?
I think
I mean, if Apple is all about security and not being able to crack it, and then these people come in and crack it, How safe is your Apple phone?
I think it's important to note that the security features on this particular phone, a 5C, are completely different than the security features on a new phone. So I think whatever method they use on the 5C would not be able to be used on a new phone. I think from the FBI's perspective, this is probably the absolute worst thing that could have happened. Because I think this was, if there was going to be a case where they would win, this was it. It had terrorism, it had people dying behind it, and now they don't have that case anymore. Because I don't think a drug dealer case like they've tried will ever have the same power that this case could have had.
Right.
So I think from the FBI's standpoint, this is the worst.
Yeah, no precedent.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Assuming they were actually going for precedent, which I'm sure they were, but
I don't think there's any question.
yeah. So and from Apple's perspective, now I have no doubt in my mind that Apple's going to figure out how they did it without the FBI's help and without FBI telling them. But Apple's going to figure out how they did it. They're going to fix it, and now it's just going to be even more difficult for the FBI to get through this encryption.
So both of you aren't worried about your phone security, knowing that this 5C was able to be hacked.
No. Zero worried. Although the FBI did release a statement, I think earlier today, and they basically said that that they have the authority. They undoubtedly have the authority to make tech companies break the encryption for the FBI, and that they will take it to court, and they have no doubt in their mind that they'll lose. So good for them.
Rock on.
Good luck.
On Matt's mind.
All right, Matt is a genius, essentially, is what he's telling us.
Yes.
You predicted that Apple and the FBI would come to an end, and that Apple would win.
Yes.
And in your eyes, Apple has won.
Apple has succeeded.
All right. All right, it's March 29th, pretty close to April, which means I can start celebrating.
Oh.
All right, we all know that April is my birthday month. So this month, you're going to get my favorites of what I have and my favorite of what I would want in my collection of things, of technology things. All right?
Yes.
So do we want to start off with what I own that I absolutely love, that if you don't have it, you should go out and get it? Or do we want to start with what I think would be kick butt for me to own?
Let's start with what you have.
I'd like to start with the fact that it's still March.
No, I said no. I said we're close. We're like 2 days away. If we wait till Sunday, then I lose a week. That's not fair. So
Well, it's not.
we're celebrating early. So don't listen to the podcast until April 1st.
You don't really lose a week though, because it's not your week to begin with.
No, it's my week. We're close enough. That's what I say.
All right.
I run.
You don't want to bum a guy's trip on his birthday month. I suppose we ought to just get off your back and let you go in March with a running start.
Since I run the iPad with songs,
And you can mute us.
and I can mute you all, I'm going to start celebrating early.
All right.
So here we go. The thing that I have that you should go out and buy, if your birthday is in April, if you have a husband's birthday that's in April, or even a wife's birthday that is in April, is an Apple TV. Ever since I got the Apple TV, canceled my cable subscription, and purely watch media on the Apple TV. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. It's got a great interface, minus some of the login things, which I don't think is an Apple issue. I think it's a more developer issue. I'm able to watch the games I want to watch, all without cable. So that's my number one. If you don't have one, go get one.
Are you gonna do like a giveaway of this? Is this like Ellen?
Yeah, Matt's gonna pay. Matt's gonna pay for everyone who hashtags the podcast. He's gonna give away an Apple TV.
Oh my goodness sakes!
You, Matt? Such a nice.
Everyone in our studio audience today.
you get an Apple TV. All right.
What
Now,
do you want?
what I think would be kick butt to add to my tech collection. Anyone want to take a guess?
Give us a clue.
It's not a robot.
It's
I'm
technology.
going to eliminate that.
The clue is technology.
Is it something you hold in your hand, or is it bigger? Like, is it something that's just like?
It can fit in your hand,
but it's
but you
not-
don't hold it in your hand.
But it fits in your hand.
But it fits in your hand.
It's that a size. It's not
Right.
bigger than a bread box.
Not big. What's a bread box?
Exactly. I know that was the old beginning question to 20 questions back in the day when there were bread boxes and things of that nature.
So smaller than a bread box.
Yeah, smaller than a bread box.
What?
It's the Moto 360.
Your old phone?
No. That's the Moto X, Greg.
Oh, sorry.
So I think I am ready to jump into the world of wearables with a smartwatch.
Do you remember when I
It's got
mine?
great design. Well, you got a Pebble. I wasn't a fan of the Pebble. It's got great design. It's fast and it works well with the Android. And every app that you get now is compatible with Android Wear. All the popular ones. So you're able to get notifications, text messages, and you can even answer calls from your smartwatch. I think I'm ready to make that jump into the smartwatch world. I wear a watch every day on my wrist, and so it wouldn't be any different by using a digital one.
Well, is this how you're building your birthday list for your wife?
No, I just think that if I had 4 weeks to celebrate my birthday, this is what I would get myself every week. I'd get myself something new. And so the first thing I'd get myself is a Moto 360
Okay.
smartwatch.
Okay.
I think it looks nicer than the Apple Watch.
Well, that's not true.
So kicking off Connolly's birthday month celebration with 2 must-haves.
Woo.
The Apple TV, which I own and you should get, except if you have 4K. Don't get it yet. And then the Moto 360. Finally willing to jump into the smartwatch world.
Both solid choices.
Yeah.
Got to tune in next week to see what else I have on my list.
And see if he
That's
if he
it.
got it.
Yeah, see if Matt bought it for me. All right, so from birthday month celebration,
So fellas, baby got back.
All right, crowdfunding time.
Baby got back.
I love me some crowdfunding time. So this time we go to the world of Kickstarter, and I think it works quite perfectly with our big talk discussion. It's not quite a robot, but it's along those lines of making your house a little smarter. So Greg, have you ever had to open a window because it got really cold and you want to let the sun in?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Have
Good
you
answer.
ever had to close a blind because it was too sunny and you couldn't watch TV?
Oh, just making it so hard for me to see. Yeah, of course I have.
Right. Has the room you were in so cold that you had to open the blinds to let some heat in?
I suppose so.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if you had a device that could do all of that for you?
What? Say it isn't so.
Well, on Kickstarter this week, we're looking at a product that is called the Flip Flick and does everything I just told you that it does.
Meet FlipFlick, a simple device that automates your window blinds. No need to change your existing blinds, just clip it and it works. Now your blinds move by themselves, even before you think of it. FlipFlick is triggered by built-in light and temperature sensors. It rotates the existing tilting mechanism to open and close the blinds automatically. And with the solar panel charging, you don't need to worry about battery life. Set your comfort temperature in the app, and FlipFlick will make sure it never gets too cold or too hot. Schedule FlipFlick to wake you up in the morning. Control it instantly with a tap when you're at home. When you're away, leave it to work on sensors, so your pets are not left in the dark.
Smart homes are about making our lives easier. For some, it can be a question of comfort and convenience, but for others, it may be a necessity. Our dedicated team has been hard at work for the last 2 years. We have partnered with leading smart home platforms like iControl Networks, worked closely with window blinds companies and manufacturers in Asia to build a product that will be beautiful, quick to install, and very easy to use. After releasing the first generation of the product and shipping it to the backers, we improved the design and technology. Now we are very excited to introduce you the new FlipFlick. It is smarter, smaller, and more elegant. Backers now will be the first to get FlipFlick in your hands.
So they're 44 days into the product. Their goal is $50,000. They are at $11,253 with 100 backers. So essentially, you hook it to the top of your blinds, and with a app, you can do a couple different things. You could tell the Flip Flick to open your blinds when it's cold or warm in your house, or you can do it at different times depending on what you want to. So it's going off of the whole smart home revelation, whatever you want to call it. Matt, Greg, thoughts?
I'm very excited for this, actually. This is probably one of the first ones that I actually am really genuinely excited for.
We're done. We're moving on. That was the show. Thanks for listening. What makes you so excited about the Flip Flick?
The Flip Flick.
Flip Flick, which is a terrible name, by the way.
That was going to be my first comment.
Sorry if you're listening, but you should have at least consulted with us about the name before you went out the product. But anyways,
I mean, there's a few things about it, like the using it for temperature control. I've never really used sunlight to heat my home, I guess.
Right.
That's kind of weird. But just the automation.
Well, you don't live in California or something where it's constantly warm.
That's very true. But just to be able to control it when I'm away, and I'm thinking automation for your living room, automate it for when you start watching TV, they close, and not have to sit down and realize, oh crap, I got to go back and close my blinds because I'm lazy. So I think this.
I didn't want to say anything, but
I think this would really feed into my laziness.
All right, Greg.
I'm not sure I understand how many little servo units or something have to be attached to your blinds themselves to get it to close like that and open.
Just like because you have that little stick, right, that you twist.
Right.
You take that stick out, right, and you just put this
and
where
you put that stick is.
So there's just a little gear. How much? So you have to have one in each one of them, obviously.
Right, one per window. What I'm not sure about, though, is if it's controllable outside your home.
Like app-controlled locks and that sort of thing?
I know you can control it via Bluetooth, because that's kind of BLE, right? Low Bluetooth, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure.
Bluetooth low energy?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure it connects to the Wi-Fi at all for you to be able to control it outside of your home on a network. Does that change your interest?
I mean, I'm sure that if it's not in this first one,
there'll be a firmware update?
Yeah, I'm sure that they could relatively easily integrate that.
All right.
I'm not worried.
He's not worried at all. It looks like it works with a variety of different blinds, so depending on what kind of blinds you have, it looks like it'll open and close it. So it doesn't bring up the blinds, right? It just kind of opens and closes, and I don't know if it does halfway blinds, but it doesn't quite lift it and let all the light in. So the blinds still stay down, just opened and closed. Any more thoughts, Greg? Before I get into
I have to be honest, I kind of felt like I was watching a commercial from 2003 or something. I thought it looked like the Clapper to me.
It did look like the Clapper. It is a weird
I just
function.
mean it looked kind of antiquated, I guess, just in the way it was made. I just couldn't believe it wasn't already just an app-driven thing, or.
Right.
But we had that discussion, once before about the handheld television, the old clicker, as they used to call it.
What's the clicker? All right. So how many of these do you think you would get in on to make it worth buying? You can't just buy one, right? You kind of need a few to jump.
I'd say just 5.
Matt says 5.
I mean, I have 5 windows that hit my TV right now.
Oh my God! I say 3.
So we're assuming that one of these would work on one window, right?
Right. On one blind.
Yeah, or
may or may not be true if you have really big windows like I do. I'd have to have like 2 per window because the blinds would be split. But that's really kind of splitting hairs, I suppose, for the argument.
Right.
How many windows? 3. You're gonna go with 3. I think I'll go 3.
Okay, so we'll do 3 then. We'll say Matt, deal with it. So here's where the pricing puts itself. The early bird special, which is still available, 3 units plus 3 solar panels plus the micro USB cable to connect the what do you call it?
The opener.
The opener. We'll call it the opener. To the solar panel. For 3 of them, you're in at $225. So at $225, Matt, for 3, with 3 solar panels, the Flip Flick makes window blinds smart. Are you in or not?
He loves the features.
He loves
hates
the
price.
features.
What will he do?
Does it get exponentially cheaper as you buy more, or is this like a price per unit thing? And the more you buy,
I'm not sure. 10 is $850. So $85 for 1 if you buy 10.
No.
So 85. So it's probably about $85 for 1 solar panel and 1 opener.
Yeah, I do.
essentially. All right, he does it. $225. Matt's in at the early bird special. 3 openers, 3 solar panels, and the micro USB cable. Greg,
The micro USB cable is what sold
that's
me.
probably what sold you on it, because nothing you own comes with a micro USB
And
cable.
those are pretty expensive, so
Man,
couldn't buy those on my own.
Greg, are you backing or not?
I don't think I can run the risk of the blinds coming up on the Sunday morning that I slept in, and I'm just there's too much of me available for viewing from street side. I think that's just too risky.
I'm with you. I mean, on the weekend, those windows open. It's like the Hue light bulbs. If your electricity goes out and you have them on, and the electricity comes on at 4 o'clock in the morning, boom, they're all turning back on.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's true.
So same. I'm with you, Greg. Yeah. See, that's a concern. Here's my concern. Price, meh, a little much for me. But I think what would take me out of this is that gigantic solar panel that you have to put on the window that is not wife approved. So for that reason, I'm out.
I just thought of something. Does this thing have a manual override, or is it literally because you're taking the stick off, right?
You're
So
taking it off.
if you
So
decide,
if you, I'm guessing you have to put the stick back,
okay, well that's weird then,
but you already backed it.
because so if I
Change your mind.
so if I'm standing right there and I want to open my shades, I gotta find my
You
phone
got to find your phone.
and send a signal.
That's right. See, Greg and I, we were smart already. We predicted that, and we just said, no, we will open the blinds ourselves and save the $225. I think it's a cool idea. I do. I just don't think a solar panel on my window will be wife approved for me.
Oh
to do.
yeah, well we've seen it. I mean, you can rent a suite that has a something that opens and closes the blinds with a remote control, and you've been able to do that. Old 007 movies had that in it. But the programming part's a little different.
Always ask for the honeymoon suite, and you'll get those things.
Thingies.
That's what I hear. Yeah,
Opener thing.
Oh.
yeah.
All right. So by a vote of 2-1, the bandwidth boys don't back the Flip Flick. It's a cool idea, though. I like it.
Yeah.
I just can't put too
Lost before we even got started.
Yeah.
It'll come down a little bit. If
A
it gets
little
in-
bit.
If it gets
It's
into
like the Hue light bulbs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not a little bit, my friend.
If it gets into like
For a
this-
normal person, $75 a light bulb is not normal.
There's $60 a light bulb.
Okay.
First of all,
Plus the $500 hub you have to buy.
it's like $50.
Not normal.
If it can get to like the $60 to $70 range per unit, it'll be good.
How's your Hue light bulbs doing
They're
anyways?
freaking awesome. I could not be happier. Legitimately, I could not be happier with light bulbs.
That's good.
And I'm really worried because I feel like I need to start changing out a lot more light bulbs for these, and then I'm going to become poor very quickly.
Yeah, before you know it, you're $1,000 in the hole and you're rich in light bulbs.
Yeah.
Things go up, then things come down. Up in the air, then down to the ground.
I got that arrow thing down. All right, Greg, you got your arrow ready? I got my green arrow and I got my red arrow all ready to go. Theme song played. It's
All right.
time to hand the show. Scared
All right, fellas.
to Matt.
This is going to be easy.
Well, I think you said that last time, and it wasn't.
There's 10 questions
10 of them.
that are some tech related, some are not tech related, some are extremely random, and some are just random things I thought of. Some are actually quite fun, though, so I'm excited. Everyone remembers how this game works. I'll give you a question, and then I'll give you an over-under figure.
Are you going to cheat like you did last time?
How did I cheat last time?
Or you just gave Greg random points?
He gets a handicap.
Oh, okay. As long as we know that going into the game, I won't be so jaded.
Great. Okay, great. Don't be upset. This is for your benefit. All right. We'll start this off easy.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that just sounds terribly patronizing.
I know, because if his easy question is really hard, we're screwed.
This is the easiest question on here.
Is
That's
Greg,
right.
are we playing together as a team, and
No,
we get...
you're playing against each other.
All right.
But I have nothing to write with, so
All right.
there. I have nothing to write on. There we go. Thank you.
Matt came to the show very prepared.
All right.
Uh-huh.
First question.
First question.
Over or under?
Green arrow, red arrow.
Green arrow is over.
Okay, got it.
Red arrow is under.
Okay.
How many keys are on a Windows keyboard? Your over-under is 100. I'm talking
Keys?
full, buttons on a Windows.
Does it include...
Greg, don't look down at the freaking keyboard.
Does it include the numlock area?
Every
Num. Not that it matters.
I feel like I'm in the corner. I'm in trouble for something. I can't figure out what the problem is here. All right, over under 100. You're saying?
That in a sentence.
not a Mac keyboard, not a condensed
What's the
keyboard,
difference?
not a 10 key list.
No, I get you. The full banana, right? The whole.
Keyboards you have at work.
All right.
Not you, because you might have media buttons.
I have media
Yeah,
buttons.
don't include. That's not a Windows.
I won't count those in my head.
Over under 100.
Under. Red arrow. Under.
Connolly says under. Greg says over, and Greg is correct. Standard Windows keyboard has 104 keys.
Oh, man.
Barely.
That's a lot of keys.
That is a lot of keys.
Yeah, I use 13 of them.
Hmm.
I don't use all the letters in the alphabet.
Apparently not. Half of them, roughly, is what you were.
That's my 13th favorite alphabet
Huh, that's fine.
letters.
Next two questions. Apparently, I was in a Monopoly mood when I wrote this because they're both about Monopoly.
Oh, I love the game. Are you okay there, Mr. Robot?
In what year was Monopoly first released by the Parker Brothers? Not the original Monopoly, the Monopoly released by the Parker Brothers, the one we know and love today.
There was an original Monopoly that wasn't the Parker Brothers?
Yes. Parker Brothers bought it.
Huh. Okay.
Over under 1925.
Over. Green arrow.
So you think it's after.
I think it's after.
Both say it's after, and you both are correct. Year was 1935.
I was going to guess like 40, you know.
I was
or
going to guess 52. It's a good thing we don't have to guess, Greg.
Yeah, it is.
All right. This one you'll never know the answer to, so it's going to be a pure guess.
No, I think we're going to know it.
How much money does a standard Monopoly game come with? Your over-under is $14,500.
Oh, not what you start off with, but in the bank.
No, like
total.
yeah,
All of it.
cash bills. 14,500 over under.
14,500.
Hmm.
I'm going to go with over. Green arrow.
I'm going to go under.
Connolly says over. Greg says under. The right answer is 15,100.
Over. All right.
It's okay, Greg. It's tied. 2-2.
How does the handicap play in there? I missed one. So now what happens?
We'll see.
At the end, he makes the last question worth however many you're down.
Yeah, we'll see. how you
Okay. All right.
8 and 9, and then we'll make up that decision.
Okay.
In 2000, it's just random. In 2006, NASA decided to piece together pieces of vendor software for their launches instead of creating it all in-house. Right, so all the different components they need for launch and all that stuff.
For what?
For launch.
I know, what product are we talking about?
NASA Space Shuttle.
Gotcha.
So they decided to take vendor software and write code to put it all together. How many lines of code
Oh, Jesus.
did they have to write in order to tie this software together? And I'll give you a clue. They're way over budget, like ridiculously over budget, like hundreds of millions of dollars over budget.
All right.
Over under lot is 1.5 million lines of code.
Over. Green arrow, over.
No, that was too easy. I should have made it a little bit higher. You're both right. It was actually so far they've written 2.5 million lines of code.
Wow.
Just to make this software talk to each other. To give you a comparison, Google Chrome has about 5 million lines of code, and Android has about 12 million lines of code.
Wait,
Oh.
NASA has less code?
This is just a code to make other code.
Just to link the different pieces of equipment together, right?
Yeah, it's not even. It doesn't count
Software
the
together.
to actually do the thing. It just counts the code to make two codes talk to each other.
God bless America.
Wow.
They did develop the Oreo cookies, though.
You like Oreos?
Love them.
I'm not a fan of them.
I think I'm going to change my mind about the cleaning thing. I want the robot that writes code. We got to speed things up here.
We're going Apple.
All right.
We're going Touch ID sensor. What is the resolution of the Touch ID sensor on Apple devices? Your over-under is 450 pixels per inch. Good luck.
I'm going to go over. 450.
And let me guess, I'm not allowed to look at my thumb, right?
Go ahead, count, Greg. We'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Greg says under. The answer is 500 pixels per inch, which is over. Connolly's up 4
All right.
This
Yeah,
next
because of his great knowledge of the product. And
Because I
its
love
pixels.
Apple. It's because I love Apple so much.
this next
Or we both took a guess, and yours was right, and mine was wrong. Is really what I think happened there.
I knew that one. That one I knew.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That was an
I do my Apple research. Don't worry.
sure.
Good for you. How many 4K titles are there currently available on Netflix?
0.
Over, under 25.
Over.
Connolly says over.
Wait. Like, does that include episodes?
No.
Or is it just the title?
Just so like if it's a show with 10 episodes, it's just one show. It counts as one.
All right, I'm gonna go over though.
That didn't change your answer.
Well, because if it was episodic, then I'd be very confident in my answer.
So you're sure?
I'm
You're sure
sure.
there's
All right. I'm just gonna go nay because you went yay.
Oh, it's 26. It's over. Come on, Greg.
They only have 26?
Yes, 26.
Wow.
Summer movies like Fuller House is in 4K.
Right. I knew that.
Oh.
House of Cards is in 4K.
There's very little.
I thought they would have more.
Yeah, I thought they would have.
Way more than 26.
We're sticking with the Apple theme. In the year 2015,
I'm a genius at it. Keep it coming.
The year 2015, how many, well, this is according to their earnings statements, how many Apple Watches were sold?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, do you? Over under is 13 million.
Under.
Connolly
Red
says,
arrow.
Connolly says under.
13
Greg
million.
looks confused.
We should compare it to that Moto 360 and see how much that sold.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm with you. I don't actually think they did, but I don't know.
Correct answer is 11.6 million.
Greg, we're geniuses here. I don't think we missed the question between the two of us.
Connolly's up 5-4.
So this next one will be worth like 20 points. Only for Greg.
Only for me, though. Yeah.
What year did iTunes have its 25th billion song downloaded? Before,
25 billionth song.
Yeah. Before or after
You don't even know.
2014?
25th billion.
25th billion song.
Does the
downloaded.
stream count as a download? I'm going to go with before 2014. I'm going to go with 2012. That's my guess.
Greg, it's on you. Connolly says before.
Well, we'll make it interesting.
Stop doing that. Greg here was 2013.
Oh, what? Damn. I said 2012.
It's
Oh,
just
Connolly's pulling ahead.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
thought
gonna-
it was the last question.
He's gonna make it out. He's just waiting for the last question to nail it.
7-4. There's 2 questions left, but the last
Two.
one's worth a lot.
Only for Greg.
In what year was the original Xbox, the first one, released in the U.S.? Before or after the year 2000?
I'm saying after.
2000.
Old school big Xbox,
Mhm.
big black box with a big green circle in the middle.
I'm gonna go with after
X
2000.
across
Yeah, I'm
the
with
top.
Greg. I'm going with after 2000.
Year was 2001.
Nice.
This last one, you get bonus points.
If we get it on the head.
If you, where's my math? Oh, there's my math. If you can get it within 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
How do you use it with the arrow? Do you like tip it a little bit sideways to give you what the?
Depending on the angle it is.
Well, maybe this way. Okay.
The question is, what is the square footage of the largest IMAX screen in the world? Your over-under is 9,000 square feet.
Holy cow.
9,000 square feet.
That's gigantic. I'm gonna go with under, and I'm gonna go with 7,500 square feet.
Mr. Mills. Stevie,
The over was 9,000.
yes.
Square
Over-under is
feet.
9,000 square feet.
That's a lot of square footage there.
That is a lot of square footage. I think I'm with you on under, and maybe I'll go 8,000.
He says 8. I say 75.
8,000. The correct
Hold
answer,
on, Matt's got to do math.
The correct answer is 11,000.
There
Wow.
you go. It's over.
309.
Doggone it.
Where's that at?
Sydney, Australia.
I was going to guess Tokyo.
The screen is 117 feet across.
Where? Where can I see this screen?
Darling Harbour, Sydney, Australia. And
Wow.
it's powered by 30,000 watts worth of light bulbs with a 15,000 watt sound system
Wow.
in a movie theater.
Environmentalists must love that.
Yeah, must be a beautiful picture though.
Things go up, then things come down. Up in the air, then down to the ground.
Good game, Greg.
That was a good one.
All right. My favorite new segment besides my birthday theme segment.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Solo Cup.
So just to review, Greg is a huge tequila fan. The first week he recommended tequila grapefruit with a little bit of spritzer on top. The second week he recommended a gin martini.
And I
Which-
learned what a martini was.
Both of us learned exactly what a martini was. It was pure gin mixed with ice
In a fancy glass.
and a fancy glass.
Getting things the right temperature is important there.
Not stirred. So this week, Greg, where are you taking us in your cup?
Well, your introduction certainly doesn't fall far from the apple tree, as they say. Today we are drinking straight tequila.
Forget the grapefruit juice. Forget the spritzer.
There's a
Just-
reason. Now there's a reason for this. There is a reason for this. There is a point to it all. I think there was a little bit of confusion with the martini last week about things being, called what they're called, whether you want that drink up or, what does that mean? And oh, it's just straight liquor. Well, there are lots of different things you can call that, and so I think we're gonna go down the road of what is neat. This may be a remedial course for drinking professionals, but I bet there are several people who just don't know the difference between a drink that is like straight up or neat? Is there a difference?
Apparently there is because you brought it up.
Yeah, that's right.
I am a fan of straight up, I think.
Do
Scott.
you know what the principal difference is if you just order something straight up or if you order it neat?
I'm going to go with straight up is no ice, just the alcohol in the cup. And neat is with ice or some kind of water splashing in the drink.
Okay. All right. It's actually, go ahead, Matt. What do you think?
I have no clue.
No clue. All right. That's fine.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but I don't think it's ice because isn't ice rocks? So if you order like something rocks, isn't that what you're saying?
On the rocks, right?
Yeah.
True.
That is true.
Well, maybe you could do neat. I don't know.
I don't know.
Enlighten, please, Greg. Enlighten.
I will. Yeah. Well, principally, what the difference is between one being straight up and being neat is temperature all the way. Neat is into a glass at room temperature. So a lot of whiskeys, some of the bigger. I'm trying to think. Brandy is a good example of one of those.
Scotch.
Scotch, yeah, definitely. Is a good example of that, especially single malt Scotch is something that a lot of people drink neat, or maybe just with the teeny little splash of water in it. If something is straight up, it's actually the opposite, roughly, of what you were talking about, and that is that it doesn't have ice, but it has been cooled, and so if a drink is shaken like that martini we talked about last week, that temperature change makes that up or straight up.
Hmm.
So first you got to tell us what kind of tequila.
This is Hornitos Plata.
Translation.
The very light colored or super clear. It's generally good to mix with whatever you want to mix it with. If you're a margarita person or you like the grapefruit thing or whatever, but it's fine straight up. You get into the Resposados and things, which are tequilas that are a little more gold, and they're a little more brandy-like in that they're sipping. These are oftentimes the lighter ones. For a lot of people, tend to be the one that you just want to mix.
But you're sipping.
I like them. Yeah, I like it just fine this way. But
And you don't need a lemon and salt or anything like that. You just sip.
No, I actually like the flavor of it, to be honest with you.
Would you say tequila is your favorite alcohol? Is what you happen to have.
Well, it's certainly in the top 3, that's for sure.
Hmm.
But I think single malt Scotch is probably my favorite liquor.
Good choice, my friend. Good choice.
Yeah. And then it's probably tequila and gin are fighting it out for the rest of my attention.
Go ahead.
I think I can safely say that tequila is the last on my list.
It's the last on a lot of people's list. There have been mistakes made along the way, generally, with it.
That's the problem.
That's what happens.
So is that tequila drink neat, or
this is? Yeah, this is only just.
I'm with you. It looks very neat.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very neat. So you're back. Oh, there you are.
It's his internet, not ours.
You froze. Yeah, it's not the guy with 10,000 megabytes. Well, there you go. Thanks, Greg.
There it is.
I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Solo Cup.
I'm not gonna lie. You had me at week 1. You had me at week 2. You lost me at week 3.
No, that's all right. You got to get out on a limb a little bit sometime.
Right. That's okay. That's what the segment is for.
The beauty is you learned something tonight. You don't have to want your drink that way, but you now know the difference.
I drink Scotch, so I'm all about neat room temperature. Splash of water, just a little drop, just one. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. I think just to look cool.
They say it opens up the flavors, I guess.
Well, then that's what I'm going for.
That's what
you're doing, right? On purpose.
I'm opening up the flavors, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Time to head into the final segment of the night, our rants and raves. Who wants to tackle first?
I'll go.
All right.
You just said that everyone should buy an Apple TV.
I did. Except for Matt.
Yeah, it's so difficult for me to get it to work. And just plugging it in and getting a video signal to not just.
I think you got a
take it
lemon. That's the problem.
down.
I think you have a lemon of an Apple TV.
I'm starting to wonder. I really am. Because it's getting ridiculous, the amount of difficulty I have just getting the Apple TV to play nice with my home theater.
Why don't you enlighten the listeners as to where you are in your battle with the Apple
If you are a loyal listener of this show,
all of 20 people
you
who
will
loyally listen each
you
week.
will probably remember that a few weeks ago I was having this problem with my Apple TV where the video would cut out and the audio would keep going.
And your girlfriend was pissed.
Yeah. And at first I thought, hey, maybe it's a bad cord, which I think it might have been. And now that I'm thinking of it, maybe I used the same cord when I rehooked everything back up. That's beside the point. Anyway, I finally figured out that I couldn't run the Apple TV through the receiver because for some reason the Apple TV did not like the handshake that the receiver was giving, and instead I had to run the my Apple TV directly into my TV and then run the audio back to the receiver. Everything was dandy. Over the weekend, bought a new TV, hooked it up the same exact way, ran the Apple TV to the TV, audio back to the receiver, and now it's back to doing the same thing it was doing before. The video cuts out and the audio keeps going. And I have no freaking clue why it's doing that. So that's where I am. Roku, fine. Chromecast, perfect. Apple TV does not like anything.
Well, if you're giving it away, I'll take it.
Yeah, I could use one in the other room.
Maybe it won't work for me.
It doesn't work for me. So next week
It will work for me because I have normal TVs and a normal internet.
I wouldn't say you have normal internet.
We can switch the Roku and the Apple TV. I'll give you my Roku 3. You give me your Apple TV. We'll call it good.
I have a Roku 3. It's sitting right next to the Apple TV.
Oh, well. I thought you had another.
So
You'll
next,
have a matching set.
so next week I'll report back with whether or not I threw it out the window.
Huh?
Greg?
I'm a little bit concerned because and you can tell me if I already talked about the Xfinity app on this particular show, and I will
Talk about it again.
You know, I don't know if you know this guy next to me, Matt. He talks about the same things every week. So it's
because I know we talk. Because we work together. Sometimes a thing or two is discussed, just over coffee or whatever, and I can't remember if it was on the show. So, but anyhow, I speak of the Xfinity app.
In a good way or a bad way?
Xfinity to go, it is called.
Still not sure if
I'm
this
speaking
is
of.
I think
I know.
the rant road.
No, not at all. I'm raving all the way, and it's not often that I make an Xfinity.
That raves about cable companies. So rave away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm split 50-50, but and I'll tell you why. But this is a great looking app. It retains your sign in nicely. It's not messing with me. It really looks marvelous. You can't see it, but probably. But anyway,
It looks great.
of course it did. Anyway, I just the videos looked really good. Everything has been super good, but it doesn't allow you to, of course, send it to your Apple TV, AirPlay it at all. And I understand, I guess, but
Have you used the Conley method?
well, clearly not, because I'm still just watching
I
it.
think it's just like the Time Warner app. If you mirror Apple TV and your phone, no worky. It says HDMI not supported. If you play it and just AirPlay it over, don't mirror, it'll work perfectly. That's how Time Warner works.
Well, I believe I've tried that, and it just what it does is it stops, it malfunctions. It stops playing back the video.
I'll bring over a bottle of scotch,
Okay.
and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. At any rate, at this point, and I'm not shocked that it doesn't AirPlay, but it has been a really stable and good-looking app when you want to watch stuff on Xfinity on the go. If you use it for what it's made for, and that is to watch on your phone or whatever, it works really marvelously.
So Greg, since they made such a good video app, are you also saying that their video website is also as perfect as
That's where I've run into the 50-50 wash on this, unfortunately, because for about the last 3 weeks, magically, as I go to AirPlay from my computer directly from the Comcast site, being signed in and going to the various channels. I can't get it to play back on Apple TV ever at all with any as any solid playback characteristics. Real choppy and everything, and it didn't used to be.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
All right. So if you are also a loyal listener to the show, you know that I got a new cell phone, the Samsung S7. Love 85% of it. The thing that drives me bonkers, literally bonkers, about a cell phone. It was the reason why I got rid of my Moto X, because it was 3 years old.
And falling apart.
And not locking. But the reason I got rid of my Moto X is that it was always dead. It could not last the whole day of me using it, not even like heavily using it, just randomly using it, checking emails, maybe posting a thing on Instagram or whatnot, but it couldn't hold a battery charge. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the AT&T store, I'm going to buy a new phone, decide to get the Galaxy S7, and guess what?
Same battery problem.
Battery issue. I can get a couple more hours than I did with the Moto X, but if I heavily use it, like on the weekends, I would heavily use my phone. It is down to 30% by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Ridiculous.
What the heck? The S7 is supposed to have a bigger battery. In theory, bigger battery means...
Not true.
I said in theory.
Well,
it's got more amps.
But it does more.
Yeah, but in theory, it should last longer. Bigger battery, more life. That is not true with the Galaxy S7. And then I go online and I check out all the forums, and you know what the solution to the forums is?
Buy an iPhone.
Nope. Turn off some of the features.
Yeah.
What's the point of buying a phone if I turn off default features? What's the point? So that's my rant.
Should have bought an iPhone.
No. I'm not going to get back into the iOS ship. I'm just saying that I think it's an Android bug that sucks all my battery. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
You think it itself is inefficient?
Oh, boy.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
To you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just said you think it's an inefficiency in the Android OS, is what you're saying.
I think it's an inefficiency in the OS.
There's probably a bracket they forgot in the code, and it's just perpetually running.
Yeah, they only have 1 million line of code. All right, let's put a bow on the show. Greg?
Let's do it. Hey, we're closing it up. Another episode of the Bandwidth Boys podcast. Thanks for joining us. And if you missed us live, don't worry at all. You can download it and listen to our podcast by using iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app.
Bandwidth Boys Podcast. Facebook, Bandwidth Boys Podcast. Twitter, @GMK Podcast. Web, bandwidthboys.com. Bandwidth Boys Podcast.
Thanks to the great Pete Jensen for doing those voiceovers for us. With that, I am Greg.
I am Matt.
And I'm Conway.
We'll talk to you next time. Same place, same time, same old shenanigans. It's right here with the Bandwidth Boys podcast. Keep on teching on.